hold on. Good thought. Were you going to add?
They don't have people to donate to the hospital.
Hey, how do you address? Because hold on.
Then no one should have health insurance. Is what you're saying.
Hold on.
Yes,
hold on. Hey, stop. Hold on. It's an interesting thought question. Should everybody have insurance? What would you say? I'll repeat it.
What did she say?
Why do we start with the assumption that I'm going to be sick?
Part of the problem in this country is that people have become so dependent on insurance to take care of their health problems. They don't take care of themselves.
Thank you. Well, hold on. Well, that's a separate issue, though.
And the insurance companies, there's no benefit for me to buy insurance, health insurance, if I'm healthy. If I buy car insurance and I don't have an accident for 5 years or 10 years, I get a break in my premium. If I'm healthy for 10 years and I don't have to have surgery, I don't have to be on medication, I get no benefit. The insurance company itself is flawed.
All right, let me stop her, because that's a good point, but we're going off into a separate topic. This is a question that, again, most Republicans don't want to answer, because I don't believe the government should have the power to force me to buy insurance. So you then ask the next good follow-up question. What happens when you go into an emergency room and you don't have insurance? Aren't we just going to foot the bill for that anyways? And my answer would be, no, you shouldn't. If I go into an emergency room without insurance, and I've made that choice prior to, then that cost for that procedure has got to be borne by me, not by you. It's got to be borne by me, by my family, by my friends, by my church, by the hospital. By the way, a lot of our hospitals have programs and financial aid programs to help with situations like this. But I won't avoid your question because it's a good one. To play my answer out in the extreme, if I make the choice not to get insurance, it should not be put on the taxpayer. Again, it's up to me, my family, whatever, to take care of that cost, even if it takes me 30 years.
Or never. Or never. What if you never pay it back? You have $1 million bill from a hospital because of whatever happened to you. You say, forget it, I'm not going to pay it.
No, that's what I said. No, I wouldn't say forget it. And then if you do say forget it, then the hospital has cause to try to go after you. What I'm saying is...
Where's bankruptcy again?
Well, what I'm saying is, again, that's then a choice you made. That's a consequence of that choice. But in a free country... Hey everybody, I love everybody in here. Let's all grow up. In a free country, we live with the consequences of our choices. And you know what? I believe this is the most decent country in the world. If we didn't have such a big nanny government taking care of everybody, and we were keeping more of our money, we'd have churches and community organizations that are really the ones who should be helping the situation.
You're saying that everybody should depend upon somebody else. Everybody should depend on them. Yes, you are. I was told that hospitals have donors that give them money to take care of the indigent.
Free choice! Free choice!
But if those people didn't donate the money, then who would take care of the indigent?
I'm going to go here and then I'll go here. Go ahead. Some facts.
I do not have to have health insurance. I have health insurance. I do not have to have it. Right. But why should you have health insurance? When I go to the hospital, a broken leg, why should you have
about 14 to 15 million Americans who don't have health insurance. Of that number, the vast majority are young people who don't need it and or wealthier people who don't want it. So it's not a huge number of people, and yet Obamacare is trying to remake our entire healthcare system. Both sides lose sight of facts often. Yes, sir. And then I'll go there. Hey, different subject. He asked me if the Republicans don't get the White House, and if the Republicans don't take over the Senate, what happens to the Bush tax rate? You know that everything Washington does is pretty crazy, so we've extended everything until the end of the year. The payroll tax cut, the Bush tax rates, they're all due to expire at the end of the year. You know, I don't know. If it's divided government, if you still have the President Obama in the White House and the Republicans in the House, my fear is they'll arrive at some sort of bloody compromise. They'll kick the can down the road for another 6 months. And it goes to my point, this point. I don't want there to be divided government after November. I want Americans to say, I want to get rid of guys like Joe Walsh, or I want to get rid of President Obama. I want the country to either give Washington to the Republicans or the Democrats and let them do their thing. I'm worried that if we get divided government again, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, extending all these programs 6 months down the road and not dealing with these problems. Thoughts, issues, questions? Yes, ma'am. They're not. Remember, she asked how that payroll tax cut was paid for. Because remember, the 2% payroll tax cut, the employee portion, that pays for Social Security, right? Wait a minute. So what the deal that was cut was, whatever that cost, it was offset by cuts over the next 10 years. So, not really paid for. Not really paid for. Yes, sir. Where can we cut back on foreign aid? Where can we cut back on foreign aid? I got a really short answer. Everywhere except for Israel. That may be the shortest answer I've ever given. We give way too much money to countries who don't like us and who work against us. We need to take care of our problems here first. But we never, ever, ever, ever cut the aid we give to our closest ally, Israel. That's where. I don't know. Should be. Write that down, sir. Write that down. I want to look at it. GDP is all government spending. Social Security. How many people in the room feel like they are better off now than they were when Obama got elected 3.5 years ago? How many feel like you're better off? Okay.
Better off in what state?
I was in college and unemployed, and now I have a job, so that's how I'm better off.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer.
I still don't have health insurance, though. I don't need it, though. I'm too young for it.
How many people in this room, here's another hard one. How many people in this room, raise your hand, if you believe you've had a better quality of life than what your parents' generation had? How many people have had a better quality of life than what your parents' generation had? Than your parents' generation. Okay, put them down. Now be dead honest. How many people in the room really believe your kids' generation will have a better quality of life than what you had? Look at that. Hold on, George. Look at that. Let me make a real important point. Again, no matter where you are politically, this is what's so sad about where we are right now. As Americans, it's in our blood. It's in our blood to believe the next generation is going to have it better. And I can tell you, I ask that question in every town hall, and maybe 1 or 2 hands go up when we talk about the next generation. Because we all get it. We all know what we're doing to Madison. We all know it's not right. And I know we're fighting right now, but the fighting just started. I am so glad we're having these fights right now. Because we finally woke up. And even though you and I may disagree on the answers, some of them, we know, even you and I know, if we don't change things, we know Madison's not going to have it.
That's the 1% is going to only.
Here he goes with that 1% again. Security! Security! Who's got one? Now you're done. Oh boy. $137,000 our debt is per taxpayer. $137,000 each of us owes. Just federal. Cook County, if you live in Cook County right now, per household, your debt is $63,000 a household.
I'll pay it right now.
Oh, no, excuse me. No, that's in Chicago. If you live in Chicago right now, the average household owes $63,000. That's how much in debt Chicago is. If you live in suburban Cook, $32,000 per household. Folks, this isn't right. And you know what? You know why it's not right? We all want what's best. Okay? We all do. But for too long, we've all been saying, government will do it. Government will take care of everybody. Come on, government. And it's like all of a sudden, we woke up after a long sleep and we said, oh my God, there's no money left. And now a lot of us are getting angry. A lot of us are stamping our feet and saying, don't touch my benefits. We are better than this. Take care of Madison. I'm coming to you. Good question. Of all that debt, how much is from the 2 wars? How much is from the 2 wars? We are about $16 trillion in debt right now. Right now we're spending about $110 billion a year in Afghanistan. And I don't know where you stand on Afghanistan, but I want to bring our boys and girls home right now. But, so if we're spending about $100 billion a year in Afghanistan, and it's not all debt, some of it's been paid for, over the last 10 years, that's what? That's $1 trillion? We're 16 trillion in debt. But listen to me, we're really not 16 trillion in debt. We're about 80 to 90 trillion when you count our Medicare and our Social Security liabilities, which we're all going to pay. When you count all of those that we already owe, it's about 80 to 90 trillion. Look, I'm with you on a number of these things. You can blame the wars for a lot. You can blame subsidies we give to big oil companies. Look, I want to get rid of the Federal Department of Education. That'll be on tape. You'll save $80 billion. There's a lot we can do, but the biggest piece of the federal spending pie is health care costs for our aging population. It's also the fastest growing piece. Deal with the wars, deal with defense, cut defense, do all that. But grow up America, we gotta deal with the big elephant in the room. Or we're sunk. We're sunk. And we're better than this. That's what makes me so angry at this president. The president thinks if I can just play rich against poor, middle class against upper middle class, if I can get Americans mad at each other, that's how this president wants to win. Baloney. Not here. We all want to be rich. We all want to be successful. We all want to succeed. We just want the opportunity. You can't guarantee success. You can't guarantee happiness. You can't guarantee everybody in this room is going to be rich. You can't guarantee that. But everybody should have the opportunity. But right now, we got such a big government, it's sitting on top of us. You again? She's from California. I'll give her one more. Good question. What's the best way for an average citizen to let their government know how they feel? Well, again, most congressmen don't do this as much as I do, so it's always good to come to these. Let me know how you feel, and you know me, I don't want to just hear from people who agree with me. The best way is contact us. Don't send mail. Send emails. And make sure it's not like some form email. Is that mine?
Yes.
Send a personal email. Send a personal email to your congressman, to your senator. We read those. Our staffs read those. We really do. Call and let a staffer know what you think. We keep track of those. And get involved in a group. Again, who in this room is probably not going to vote for me in November? Raise your hand. Come on, get it up. Then, what I would advise you three to do is... No, listen, a serious point.
I don't live in a district.
It's all about this election now. I believe this entire country is revolving on this next election. So get involved with a candidate you believe in. Work hard if you want for President Obama. I'm running against Tammy Duckworth. If you don't want to see my smiling face in Congress, work hard for Tammy Duckworth. And for those of you who might vote for me, work hard to get me elected. It's all about getting involved in an election now. All the arguments are done. Now it's about knocking on doors and getting people you believe in elected. I'm about to lose my voice again.
If you don't, you get the government.
Thank you. Hey, we're going to end on that note. If you don't do what I just said to do, you will get the would like to see nominated for the Congressional Commendation based on their service or based on their community service after they